A little something for the weekend with Sam Hunt.
Yep, Sam Hunt's with us. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Wammo. How are you?
I'm good. What about you? How you been over the past
I like
week?
the way your voice chops down as you then you say the time 8:41 and and then the kokako.
It's good. I like to make it official, you know.
It's good. I like it. It's good. And I'm just going to mention just last night the frogs are back, so that's a good sign of spring.
Oh.
Because we have a lot of discussion. My girlfriend who comes and stays here sometimes, she insists that what in fact are shags, who nest a bit further over.
Yeah.
She thinks they're frogs, and they're not frogs, they're shags.
There's a big difference between the two, right?
Well, they don't sound all that different, to be honest. and you can mistake them. But when the real frog comes, it's a bit like Peter and the Wolf. You know, no one believes you then because you say, "Oh no, but you've been calling them shags for so long." So I don't know. But one thing I thought I'd like to do, if I may, is pay just a sort of a kind of a tribute to the people of Canterbury. If you like, from one earthquake to another.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking particularly, our friend just I mentioned she's been working with a lot of people out in the Addington Raceway and feeding people, and there's a lot of suffering taking place. I saw the Jerry Brownie when somebody asked him about the cracks in the paddocks. He said he didn't know what they were. I thought he should go and have a look in the mirror. But anyway, as Leonard Cohen once said, there's a crack where the light comes in. But here's a poem anyway from one earthquake to another. This is one that I made up about an earthquake that I was in, along with a lot of other people. It's called Naming the Gods. After the quake last night, a rumble low in the gut of the South Taranaki Bight, 6.3 turns out. I went checked his name again. I went checked his name again, Ruamoko, earthquake god. Not that a man dare answer back to a god like that, but stand his ground if he can, or fall, hug and her turning Mother Earth, turn with her in her pain. While deep underneath, Ruamoko, making life difficult, with all of these reminders of birth and of death, tossing them about like they don't really matter. Everybody's so mixed up, a man does not know one from the other. A quake last night, born again or dead again, doesn't really matter. What does, what is wise to know, is the gods by their names. Ruamoko is his. Pays, I think, to let him know you know who he is. Yeah, so that's one from another part to the people of Canterbury. So
you mentioned Ruamoko in there.
Yeah.
Maori god of
earthquakes. So when Ruamoko. When there's a beautiful poem of Hane Tūwhare, which I think it's actually called Ruamoko. In fact, it is. I'm sure it is. It's called Ruamoko. That's beautiful. That's a stunning poem. The one of Hane's. Yeah. The earthquake god. So when Ruamoko belches or farts, well, we all know about it.
Yeah.
And it's so good. Hey, also, I thought I'd got a couple of very new little chords here. Thought I'd like to give them an airing.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Is that okay?
Sure.
These are probably explained or said or mentioned over. I'm doing a book early next year, April of next year, I'm calling the book Chords, Chords. So these two are just chords 51 and 52, and so they're not related to anything, I don't think. Well, they are in the end. One day they may be, but right now they're floating out here. So here's chord 51. Pure distraction or song of destruction. Until I got the words, I thought it was a love song. Good to get it wrong. Easy to confuse, distraction for destruction, and love for what a fuck up it is, and now and then isn't, and words don't matter. Pretty heavy little number. Here's number 52. This gets worse. You're hanging in there.
I'm there. Yeah, good. Enjoying.
Here's chord 52. He said, 2 o'clock and it's Tuesday. Last night it was Monday. I never knew you then to be the bastard you are. 2 o'clock and Tuesday outside of the district court. You can't tell these days if you're coming or going, if being alive is enough or your bruises are showing. 2 o'clock and it's Tuesday. Wednesday, tomorrow, if you're lucky. So that's chords 51 and 52.
And when the book is published, will it be chords 1 to whatever?
Yeah, and there'll be a lot of other ones. I haven't really decided the order. I've had a bit of a history of doing it sort of, when you put a collection of poems together, well, it's like an album. When you're doing an album, and you've got to list your songs. In this case, your verses, your poems, or your chords.
But will each chord be a song or a strum?
Well, somewhere sort of between the two, I think, Wammo. I think somewhere between the two. Yeah, that's a good question. It's a bloody good question. I'm looking forward to the book. It's going to come out on the same day as that film about me, Purple Balloon, and other stories goes into general distribution.
Oh,
so
great.
So you and your lovely lady Jen came along to that.
Yeah, we did. We really enjoyed it.
That's lovely. Yeah, well, that's doing with a round of the film things. But then I think it's the 15th of April. They do that. Hey, look, can I tell you a poem here?
Yeah.
Which a friend has sent me, and it's by the Irish poet. I've been reading a lot because of a friend who's been introducing me to a lot of stuff, a lot of Irish poets. And in this case, this is one she sent me on the, what do you call this thing? Email, the emailer. And it's by Louis MacNeice. Now, Louis MacNeice, some people will know, he was sort of a contemporary of W.A. Jordan and Stephen Spender. He was an Irish poet of that period, died about 1963. In fact, he died in 63, which is a pretty important year, sort of Bob Dylan and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones did their first albums. I did my first book of poems, Between Islands. I don't think anyone noticed it. I did 4 copies. But that was the same year that Louis MacNeice died. But this is a poem that I've never known until just the last day and a half. And it's called House on a Cliff, and it's by Louis MacNeice, and I love it. And thank you very much, the lady who sent it to me. Indoors, the tang of a tinny oil lamp. Outdoors, the winking signal on the waste of sea. Indoors, the sound of the wind. Outdoors, the wind. Indoors, the locked heart and lost key. Outdoors, the chill, the void, the siren. Indoors, the strong man pained to find his red blood cools, while the blind clock grows louder, faster. Outdoors, the silent moon, the garrulous tides she rules. Indoors, ancestral, curse come, blessing. Outdoors, the empty bowl of heaven, the empty deep. Indoors, a purposeful man who talks at cross, purposes to himself in a broken sleep. Hey.
Great.
House on a Cliff, Louis MacNeice. Yeah, I'm going to sort of start reading him fully again. It's wonderful. So bloody marvellous.
Good to be reminded and prompted like that, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we're getting ourselves ready to do our... Well, we are found at the sound. I mentioned last week we're going to be flashing it up. And
that's right.
The car we've been given Wammo.
Yeah.
I didn't know last week. It's called... so we'll have it for a week. It's called I don't know if you know them. It's called a Porsche 911.
Oh, that's my dream car.
Carrera Cabriolet 6-speed convertible.
Oh.
And it's black and
convertible as well.
It'd be a good chance, much 12-year-old to learn to drive. What do you reckon?
What a car to learn in. Well, so you're going to take that for a spin around. Where are you going?
Well, I've got to do it only one during the school holidays. So Alf gets time off school, and so I've got a show that I've got to do in Otago, and for a few thousand bus drivers. So I don't think there'll be any bus drivers around the rest of New Zealand that day, because they'll all be down there.
What a trip, all the way to Otago in a Porsche.
Well, yeah, we'll go around the South Island then. We'll go over Haast, go west over Haast, I think. I mean, without over-planning, we'll just follow, you know what I mean? But,
You got any room in the back?
And go up the west coast there,
You got any room in the back?
Good one. Well, so that Louis MacNeice poem, and I hope that the Naming the Gods reached its destination too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly did.
Love to you all.
Thanks very much, Sam.
See you, Wammo.
See ya.
See ya.
That was a little something for the weekend with Sam Hunt, only on Kiwi FM.